What's up, boys? I'm back. Beautiful ass day, as you can see outside, and I'm back with the best sauce in the fucking game. Who do you know spilling out this much free sauce? Nobody. Anyways, boys, I've worked with over 100+ brands selling out their drops, making sure they get consistent results. And you know what? Today I'm actually feeling a little generous. So in this video, I'm literally gonna walk you through the process on how I consistently sell these drops for these brands, regardless of the size. Now, boys, I've literally seen gurus charge thousands and thousands of dollars for this information that I'm about to tell you guys. So if I was in your shoes, which I was not that long ago, I would be taking some fucking notes right now. But real quick, before we get started, let's clear up some common misconceptions I see a lot of people go on or talk about paid traffic and ads. Now, a lot of people think that ads are some type of get rich quick scheme or like some type of magic trick, but in all reality, ads are just gasoline to whatever is working. If you do not have a good front end, then your ads are simply just not going to perform. Now you might be asking, Jaden, what is a good front end? First thing, your ad creatives need to match your brand's aesthetic and brand's identity. Now this one should honestly be a no-brainer. If you're running a high-end minimalistic fashion brand, but then your creatives are some fast-paced streetwear brand like Supreme or Bape, your audience is going to get confused and not actually feel the action to take a purchase. Consistency in visuals is key. Your ad should feel like they belong to your brand's universe. Here's an example. On the left, we have a clean minimalistic clothing brand. The ad is simple, subtle lines, clean tone. And on the right, a loud, overstimulating ad that clashes with the brand's presence. Now you kind of see what I'm getting at. It's going to confuse the traffic. Creatives should speak the same language as your products. If you're selling luxury, sleek streetwear, your creative should match that. If you're selling bold, graphic streetwear tees, your creative should also match that. Whatever your style, your ad should feel like an extension to that style. Now let's actually talk about what makes an ad scroll stopping. There actually are a few key elements that will make your creatives hard to ignore. Now before I get into this first part, creatives don't have to be just static images. Creatives can be videos, which brings me on to my first topic, movement. People's brains are naturally drawn to motion, which is why typically video creatives outperform static creatives. They're both good to run. Motion just catches the eyes to keep them locked in, which is why most people are addicted to TikTok. But don't just put movement for the sake of it. Use it to highlight your product in action. Think about how your clothes feel, how they fit. This is where showing real life usage is huge. Second, emotion. Like I said previously, people don't like buying a product, they like buying the feeling of what the product gives them. People buy based off emotion, not just logic. Create ads that make a feeling towards the product. Maybe it's the excitement of a new collection coming up, the nostalgia of a certain look, or the confidence somebody feels actually wearing your product. Capture that emotion and your audience is most likely to gravitate to whatever you're trying to sell them. Third, create value. If you can't convince them on why they should buy your product, then they're not going to buy your product. You need to show them why they should stop scrolling on whatever they're doing and click on your website and actually buy the product. Whether it's a discount, exclusive offer, or just getting to the point quickly. Which brings me on to my next topic, creating an offer that they can't resist. Okay, so now we got to the point where your ad is actually stopping people in their tracks, but what about your offer? What about your offer screams to, I should buy this, or I'm losing out on the deal if I don't buy this? Here's another common mistake. Running ads without a clear, compelling offer is killing your traffic. Look, it's 2025, people are scrolling quickly and they need a reason why they should stop scrolling and go to your website and buy your product. Offering a discount or a limited time offer or even a bundle can make all the difference on how your ads perform. For example, let's say you're running a buy one, get one free or buy one, get one 20% off on your first order. That's the kind of offer that gets people's attention. It almost feels like a no-brainer. But also at the same time, don't overdo it. If you always discount your items, it can hurt your brand's perceived value in the long run. Focus on making your offers feel exclusive. Create offers that have urgency, that create a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, so the customer has to feel like they have to buy your product now. Which brings me on to my next thing, tweaking, testing different offers and creatives. A lot of you guys are not doing enough testing. Do not just create one ad or one offer and call it a day. You need to test different creatives, different offers, different messaging, a lot of A/B testing to see what most resonates with your brand and whatever you're trying to sell to that traffic. Try variations, different hooks, different colors. You might think that your target audience loves lifestyle shots, but maybe they respond better to direct product close-ups. And the only way to actually know is to test. Now, most people doing YouTube videos like this would just leave it at that, but you know we do things differently over here. Alright boys, we're on the fucking desktop here. As you can see, a fucking crazy ROAS. literally 20x consistently. But now that we got your creatives dialed in and your winning angles, I'm going to show you how you're actually going to want to structure these campaigns with your winning angles, and how, like I said, you want to run with whatever's working. Why the fuck would you change it if it is working? Obviously, the way you're going to do this is, like I said, it's different per brand, so you can copy it exactly, but you know what I mean. Every brand is different, which is why I say test winning variations of certain brands, certain angles, campaign structures, creative type, content type, price points, offers, CTAs. There is so much that actually goes when it comes to testing and finding a brand's winning angle. So as we can see here with this client, we found their winning angle and we basically just ran with it. Now we're doing a lot of horizontal scaling when it comes to this client. But as you can see here on this one campaign, we spent around $234 with a consistent 20x ROAS to bring around almost $4,000. Mind you, the CPA was $8 and $6 when their average order value was like 180, I want to say. So this is a very, 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 very good return on ad spend. And like I said, it's because we found what was working the best for this client. Now, once you find what is working best for this client, like I said, you have to structure your campaign right to run with whatever is working, and then scale it up gradually. Whether you're going to do surf scaling, vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, you have to run with whatever is working. Now, here's where I see most brands actually fumble the bag. They have a winning product, they have a winning offer, they have a winning landing page, but they don't scale correctly. Once you have a winning angle of whatever is working for you, you need to run with it. I see a lot of brands, even brands that I work with currently, we find winning variations of whatever they're doing and they want to come out with some new shit. No, we have to keep milking whatever is working. First, let's talk about all the important ad angle. You might be asking, what do I mean by ad angle or winning angle? It's the core message or angle that resonates with your target audience that you are trying to hit. It's what makes them stop, engage, and actually click on your ad and go to your website. Maybe it's the style, the product, the image you're portraying with your brand, or the problem that your brand solves. Whatever it is, finding your winning angle is the first step on how you actually are going to scale your brand. For example, let's say your ad angle is comfort. You highlight how your jeans feel or how your sweatpants feel and how amazing they are, or how comfortable they are wearing them. If it resonates with your audience, that is a winning angle. Now you have something to actually build on. Once you find that winning angle, don't want to just run with one version of your ad. You need to create winning variations of that angle to see what resonates with different segments of your audience. Let's say that you've got that comfort angle on lockdown. Now you can create multiple ad variations, creatives, content of that winning angle and scale accordingly. One that shows the product being worn in action, another that highlights the fabric and durability of your product, another one that shows how comfortable it is. Maybe even include ads that show customers, like testimonials talking about how comfortable your actual product is. And this is where the testing comes into play. You can also tweak things like ad copies, the highlights, the CTAs. You might test random headlines like comfortable all day versus designed for the moment. These small tweaks will help you uncover the best performing version of your winning angle. Now let's actually talk about scaling your ad spend. You found your winning ad, you created your winning angle, and now it's time to scale. But here's the thing. Scaling isn't about throwing money at your ads and hoping that you're going to see a better return. If you increase your ad spend too quickly, you risk running into ad fatigue or increasing your cost per acquisition or your CPA. This is why a gradual scaling approach is crucial. A good rule of thumb is to increase your ads by 10 to 20% every 3 to 5 days. This allows Facebook's algorithm to adjust to your changes and start to stabilize your results before you go bigger. If you're scaling too high, you might see an initial bump, but then your ads will start to fall off and your cost per conversion will go through the damn roof. To scale efficiently, you need to use the right tools that Facebook gives you on Ads Manager. One thing you need to keep an eye out for is ad fatigue. This happens a lot when you're scaling your ads and upping the budget. It's the moment your audience has seen your ads too many times and then your ads become less engaging. This is a crucial point when it comes to scaling. As you scale, make sure to refresh your ad creatives frequently, as frequently as possible. This doesn't mean you need to reinvent the wheel every single time, but you should rotate your ads to avoid oversaturating your audience. One simple way of doing this is to swap out the creatives every 1 to 2 weeks, changing the visuals, the captions, or even the product angles. This just keeps things dynamic so your audience doesn't get bored. Now let's talk about budgeting. As you scale your ad spend, it's important to keep track of the numbers. You don't want to scale too aggressively and then drain your budget on ads or angles that are not working. Set realistic goals and daily spending limits for your campaigns and keep track of your key metrics. CPC, CPA. If you're scaling and you're seeing your key metrics start to dip, it's a sign to pause or re-optimize your ad and come at it with a better approach before you actually keep increasing your ad spend. All right, so there you have it, boys. That's how I'm selling out damn near every single brand that I work with. And to be honest, this has to be our most informational video yet. Now, don't get me wrong, this is obviously a lot easier said than done. So if you want to work with me one-on-one to implement all these things that I said in the video, the link will be in the first description down below. Or if you're lurking and want to learn how I actually do this for other brands that I work for and become your own agency or freelancer, then just hit the second link in the description where I guarantee you your first client within 3 weeks. But yeah, boys, that's enough from me. I guess I'll catch y'all boys on the next one. Peace.